Raw Takes and Company. Welcome to the show. It's Andrew Hody. It's Jake Malensic to my left. Right under me is Matthias Andahar. Raw Takes and Company. Your one-stop spot for all sports and all in. We'll be with you all the way up here this lovely Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon or whatever time on Thursday you're watching this or even later during the week. It's good to be with you all. As always, make sure to follow, like, and subscribe to the account here on YouTube. Also, check us out on social media as well. Our social media links are all under Jake's name and under my name and to the sides of Matthias. So make sure to follow us on social media. We would really appreciate that.
Can you make
And
him like
comment.
spin?
What?
Can you
You should
make
make
them
him like
spin?
spin, like woo, and then
Like
land.
spin to find it?
No, like it comes in from the corner and it like spins and then it's right there. Is that
I can try to
possible?
figure out a way on my editing software how I can do that.
Perfect.
All
That'll
right,
make it
yeah.
cooler.
That would make it
You
cooler.
can leave that
Or
in too.
text
Leave that
in
in. We're
YouTube.
leaving that in.
Yeah, we're leaving that in. Of course, I'm not going to cut that out. That's great content right there.
Okay,
Yep,
good.
one take,
I
Jake.
just think,
Everybody loves some
let's
good
try some cool
banter.
stuff.
All
If
right.
he makes that, I'm turning this game off. That's okay.
Which game are you even watching?
I was watching the Cavs, and the guy on the Celtics just hit a 35-foot three off the glass, and I said, "We're done with that."
All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit about the Cavs as the game ends. As we're recording this, of
Stay
course, the
tuned.
Cavs are still playing. So, another thing I wanted to chime into, we kind of got unlucky. We've been getting lucky with some big stories every week. Happened to appearing on our show right when they happen, but of course, when we record on Wednesday nights, it's a little bit different when it's breaking news for us, but not necessarily to our audience. But last week, we should probably chime in on the NBA betting scandal a little bit. That did take place literally, I think, hours after the podcast was uploaded. So at least the news broke hours before it was uploaded. But we're not going to touch too much on it because we know it's still an ongoing investigation. So we're going to leave it there. But we did miss that last week. So we just wanted to acknowledge that that news did come out literally right after we uploaded last week's podcast. So big news in the NBA there. We're going to have to see how that unfolds. All right, but we're going to start things off in the NFL. And let's get right away to the big news of today. I think the biggest headline really of this week, there hasn't really been much going around the NFL, but I'd say Aidan Hutchinson signing that big extension with the Detroit Lions. 4 years, $180 million. Big contract for a pass rusher. I think it's well deserved. What do you guys think about that? We'll start with Jake.
Yeah, I definitely think it's well deserved. Hutch has been awesome. I think we saw how much they miss him last year when he was hurt. I think one thing about, and boy, it would be nice to be the agent in those negotiations to say, hey, do you realize how bad your pass rush was without this guy? Do you really want that to happen again? And so, that's a really good negotiation piece for him, for his agency, and just a really well done contract for the Lions. Lock up your superstars. That's been the Lions' MO for the last couple of years. I don't know where they're going to keep getting this money from, but they've continued to do it with Goff and with Hutchinson. They're just giving all these guys money. I like it. I think he's awesome. He's got the nastiest spin move since Robert Mathis. If you know, you know.
Matthias, what are your thoughts?
So I believe this is a brilliant signing by Detroit. This was what they needed. And Jake, not only what you said about the pass rush, but the agent could just be like, Aidan Hutchinson could just look right down the street, go to Green Bay and see how they paid Micah Parsons. And like the fact that Green Bay paid so much for Micah forced Detroit's hand to pay so much for Aidan Hutchinson. So kind of a power move there by the Green Bay Packers, but the NFC North, those two teams rushing or pass rushing is going to look real ugly for teams going against them for a very long time.
Nobody thinks it was an overpay, huh? We all think it's good.
I think
Not
it's
too
No,
much
solid.
money.
I can't argue it. No, I think the Detroit
Okay.
Lions needed to lock him in, especially because I think the defensive side of the ball is the worst side of the ball for them right now.
True. Definitely.
Although
We talked about their
still look
DC though
good.
last week.
Yeah,
Calvin Shepard.
he's doing a
He's going
great
to make
job.
that contract worth it. That dude's a baller.
He's a
yeah.
better DC than Aaron Glenn. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. We talked about that last week and we might be right.
Yeah, but we'll see. The
Won't
Jets
go there
get their
yet.
first
It's
win of
game
the
eight.
year. So let's move on now. We're going to talk about some of the slate of games that took place this week. Our buddy Matthias is going to start things off. Pittsburgh at Green Bay. That was the Sunday night game. Matthias, you have the floor. Give us your thoughts on your team, the Steelers, losing to the Green Bay Packers in a blowout.
So I was like laying in my bed after the pod, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I forgot the Packers had Josh Jacobs," and that alone would have made me change my answer. But we lost not because of Josh Jacobs; he did have an amazing game, but because of this overpaid paper mache defense, where like Jordan Love completed 20 passes in a row. Why are we letting that happen? And like Jordan Love looked phenomenal, and it looked like age had finally caught up to Aaron Rodgers. Um, man, the first quarter looked like your prime Steelers ugly football, and then finally they turned it around. I think this is the statement win the Packers have been looking for. It's not against the biggest contender in the world; it's the Steelers, but still, they've only lost one game, even with the tie. So I'm looking a bit higher on Green Bay. Guys, what do you think? I'll start with Jake.
Yeah, I think all three of us, since we've started this podcast, have been wondering about the Packers. There's been a lot of questions. There's been a lot of, are they good? Are they bad? They kept playing down to their level of opponent a lot. And it looked like they were going to do it again. I thought you brought up a great point. I was texting with some of my other friends about it, and we were like, yeah, this is going to be the classic 12-10 Steeler win. They're going to kick only field goals, and they're going to just accidentally win the game. And I thought Packers responded, and we saw the version of the Packers offense that we're supposed to see. That's what their offense is supposed to look like. When it's on, that's the team that we believe in to be a contender in the NFC. And so I think if I get one more week of that from the Packers, and I can get one more week of that. Now they play Carolina, I think, next week, so we won't get a lot. But
They'll
if
get a
we
free
can
week.
get that again from them, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'll go to you, Andrew.
Yeah, I was going to say last week I said, why should I trust Green Bay? This week made me trust Green Bay. Jordan Love had the best game of this season in that game on Sunday night. Although he did give that game to the Cleveland Browns. And since they lost to the Browns, I still think there's some flaws there. But nevertheless, this was a prove it game for the Packers, and they certainly proved it. And I have nothing else to say but that. I still think Detroit's going to prove to be a little bit better in the division, but Green Bay, to me, they proved that they're for real with that win against the Steelers. Let's move on to the Colts and Titans. Jake, the floor is yours.
I'm taking my first 15 seconds to comment about what Matthias said, because that defense is all talk or all bite, all bark, no bite, by the way, at the Steelers. It's really bad. Jonathan Taylor's going to win the MVP. He's not, but he should win the MVP. I'm here for it. He's got 3 touchdowns in like 3 straight games. He's got more touchdowns than the Tennessee Titans do. I think he's almost as many touchdowns as the Browns do. He's awesome. Daniel Jones just keeps playing well. And the Colts they're doing what they're supposed to do to the bad teams, but they're also playing awesome against the good teams. They played really well against the Chargers last week, and they played really well against the Titans. Like, sometimes you play these games against divisional opponents that are worse than you, and it's a drag, and you don't play well, and you just don't have it that day. We saw the Eagles do it against the Giants a couple of weeks ago, but the Colts just came out and said, no, we're much better than you, and we're going to demolish you. And they made poor Cam Ward look really bad, and their offense made the poor Tennessee defense look really bad. So I think this is a testament to, I think the Colts are certainly for real, but they've also are doing the things that good teams do and not letting the bad teams contend. They're not letting the bad teams even stay close. I'll go to Andrew if you have any more comments.
Uh, I think Carly Ursay Gordon is becoming the it factor possibly for the Colts.
Oh yeah, I
Their
was supposed to talk
7-1
about that,
starts.
wasn't it? She's
I
awesome, by
wonder.
the way. She's awesome.
It seems like she's doing a terrific job. I know she's on the sidelines a lot, taking a lot of notes. So I know she's been getting some headlines. I wonder if that's actually a factor as to why Shane Steichen may be coaching as well as he is. Obviously, I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but Granted, she has made headlines for her appearances on the sideline, so that might be a factor. For me, the Colts are good. I'm starting to buy into their stock, but the schedule is about to get tougher for them, so we will see.
One comment on Ms. Urzay. I saw a TikTok from her today or about her today, and it was her press conference, and she was saying she really wants to be on the sideline for every game because she doesn't know anything about football, and she wants to be able to evaluate her coaches and players and GMs reasonably. And I thought there might be a few owners in the league who need to take notes. This is not, this is, I'm not going to say anything. This is a business, but it's also, this is people's livelihood. And she understands that this is a football team and that she needs to do the best for the people who work for the team and root for the team. And I thought that was really cool. Awesome press conference. It's on, I think it was NFL's TikTok if you want to watch it. Really cool press conference. Thought she said a lot of cool stuff. And I respect her a lot to come out and say, yeah, I don't know anything about football, but I want to learn because I've been given this opportunity to own this team.
Matthias,
Sorry,
I'll let you
way
have one
over there, but
sentence before we move on.
um, Cam Ward, no comment.
All right, let's move on
still
now.
young.
Week ago, the Chargers and the Vikings. Chargers getting back to form a little bit with a big win over the Minnesota Vikings. I know Matthias giving me a shrug there because he picked the Vikings to win the game. Carson Wentz looked terrible for the Vikings. I think the Vikings' problems are really stemming from there's no stability at quarterback right now. But I will just say that Lad McConkey, the lead receiving leader for the LA Chargers, he made a huge impact for the Chargers. Probably the biggest game of his career already. Justin Herbert looked phenomenal. And even rushing the football, you look at Vidal and what he was able to do for 117 yards. I mean, for me, the Chargers, I don't trust them like I did at the beginning of the season because they have lost to some weird teams so far. I don't think they should have lost to the Colts, and I don't think they should have lost to the Giants, but they did. So I don't know if the Chargers are as good as they were advertised at the beginning of the year. But to me, they needed to get back to the form in this game. Certainly did that. The Minnesota Vikings, to me, they need to have stability at the quarterback position. And that's going to mean J.J. McCarthy is out under center the whole time, or else I think the Vikings are in trouble. What do you guys think? And we'll start with Matthias for this one.
So I'm gonna okay. So first with Carson Wentz, like he looked injured before he even stepped foot. Like that offensive line couldn't block someone on Twitter. Like it was so bad, and he could just consistently felt pressured over and over again. And this isn't a Carson Wentz that could deal with that. And yeah, it was just bad. Um, I agree with most of what you said about the Chargers. I do think they're one of the teams that I know absolutely nothing about, but I'm favoring more so like bordering on contender. Um, yeah, Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert. That's what I'll end it with.
Any thoughts, Jake?
I want Justin Herbert to play like good Justin Herbert more often because when good Justin Herbert shows up, he's awesome. Good Justin Herbert showed up for the first 3 weeks, and I went and bet him to win the MVP. And then he let me down the next 3 weeks, and I had to cash out for $1 on my $5 bet. So that sucked. The point is, I need to see some consistency from Mr. Herbert because he's going to take this team to the next level. You've got your girl now, Mr. Herbert. So start playing with some confidence, buddy. I saw you at the Dodger game. I know you got it in you, buddy.
All right, Matthias, let's head back to you. Philadelphia, New York. The Eagles got the revenge. Are your thoughts? You have the floor.
Can we investigate the refs? But that aside, like man, this game was what Philly needed, and at the same time, what we expected to happen. Nobody thought that the Giants were going to beat the Eagles twice. But yeah, Philadelphia, they showed up, they played how they needed to, and there were some very questionable calls, especially that tush push that turned into a fumble, but the ref said that he blew the whistle beforehand. But if you watch the replay, didn't blow the whistle beforehand. But either way, that, and then I think the biggest headline of the game is Cam Scatterbo going down with that injury. It was like prayers up for him. That was a very freak injury. Like his foot could have waved hello to his ankle. Like it was horrid. But like, man, well wishes for him. I think the Giants can bounce back. They're not going to be what they were with Cam, and I don't think this is the Eagles turning it around. I think this is the Eagles being petty and getting a win that they should have won anyways. What do you think? I'll start with you, Andrew.
For me, that Scatabo injury is going to be huge. The Giants, to me, I think they were a much better football team with Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo, and I think Russell Wilson was really the problem at the beginning of the season for them. They kind of turned it around a little bit. Obviously, they started off 0-3, so they weren't going to turn around too much. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save Brian Dable's job at the end of the year. But granted, to me, that was really the story of this game, and I think that hurts the Giants more. I think the Eagles are fine. What we saw from them, obviously, I think answered a lot of questions that were about the Philadelphia Eagles. But to me, the Giants, I think they're just looking for ways to win football games right now. And the Denver game was a disaster. And this game, I think, with the Scatabo injury, makes it even more of a disaster for the Giants. I don't know how they recovered from this.
To me, it's a vibes thing that sucks the most because Dart and Scatterbo, like the aura, which I hate saying that word, but it's so true. Like they just had the vibes, they had the fun connection that the two of them had. They were going to get CTE together. Like it was this whole jokes that everybody was saying about them, where it was like, these two are the future. These two are up next. And you lose one of those two. And it just feels like kind of the vibes of the season that were going like this, going up, are now going down. And people do not talk enough about how much vibes matter, not only for like a fan, but like in the locker room. Vibes are everything. And they're not looking as fun as they used to be in the Meadowlands.
All right, Jake, it's your turn. You have the floor for the Miami Dolphins and the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. I'm going to be focusing more on the Falcons here because let me tell you what, I was so high on this Falcons team coming into the year. And sometimes they make me look like a genius. And sometimes, to quote our good friend Fun, sometimes I wish they'd just fall off because I don't understand what they're doing. Sometimes their offense is, and now they had Kirk last week, so I don't know that we can judge it like too much because Kirk Cousins is a disaster. But man, like there's weeks where they look like Penix and London and Bijan and Pitts, like, and they've figured it all out and everything's great. And then there's weeks like this where they like the Dolphins just gave up like a career high to Quinshon Judkins and 3 touchdowns to him last week, and Bijan couldn't do anything. So I don't know what to do with that. Because how do you not get him going against that defense? How do we not find anything offensively? I know we were out London and I know we were out Penix, but like this is the Dolphins. They're terrible. They gave up 31 to the Browns. And you didn't do anything against them. And Falcons have a cool defense. They have a good defense, but they don't have a good enough defense when their offense can't do anything. And I'm really confused, and I wish I just knew what this team was.
Because everybody knows what they are.
I don't think they know what they are. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem.
I want to chime in from the Dolphins' perspective, if you may.
Please go.
Well, for me, I think Mike McDaniel still needs to be fired. However, the Dolphins' offense looked a lot better. Tua played a lot better. Part of me says there is definitely some potential with the Miami offense, but they definitely need to change at head coach. And who knows? Maybe it's just because it was the Falcons that they won this game. But I still feel like there's some potential with that Miami offense. If Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier are not employed with the Dolphins by the end of this season, I think that potential may be able to be untapped, but we'll have to see. Matthias, the floor is yours, my friend.
You let yourself get out coached by Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, and I think we should also chime in and say Raheem Morris does not look like a great NFL head coach at all.
There are times
where he looks amazing, and then there are times where we get Miami.
I don't know. I don't know what the Bills they beat. It makes no sense. The Falcons.
I don't know what to do with anybody on that roster, including the coach. I'm so confused. So confused.
And what we've learned, if you're confused about an NFL team, they're not usually good. And if they make the
No, they're
playoffs, they're a
not.
first
But
round out, usually. Usually.
that's a good way to put it, and I'm not giving up. I don't want to give up.
All right,
I'm
next
giving
game.
up just because nobody knows what the heck they are. I hate using the phrase a team doesn't have an identity, but the Falcons don't have an identity. I mean, that's the bottom line. I don't know what they are. They make no sense, and they have a lot of good players. All right, my turn for the Browns and Patriots. I don't want to give up on Dylan Gabriel as
I
soon.
do.
I know you do. I still feel like it's Stefanski's guy, but to me, I mean, I'm not so sure I'm ready for Shador Sanders to start either. Because I don't believe in Shador either. But like at this point, I'm like, give him a try if this is really what the offense is. But also, I want to chime in and say, what are Browns fans really expecting this year? Like all offseason long, I think the talk was how bad the Browns were going to be in 2025, and they may be looking forward to 2026. That was the talk all offseason. So to me, I don't know how that means we should fire a coach and a GM who are on the job when all we could talk about this offseason is how bad this football team is. Okay, they're bad. They're terrible. The fact they're 2-6 should surprise nobody. And the fact that they're 2-6 and people are still upset about that and are trying to figure out ways to kind of save the season's lost. It was lost already in the offseason. Putting in Shador, I don't think does anything to really save this season. I'm not saying you don't do that move either. Dylan Gabriel sure was a massive disappointment. I'm not going to argue that. But to me, this is really playing for 2026 at this point, and whatever happens, happens with the Browns in terms of changes at this point because they're just a mess as an organization. You guys have any thoughts? We'll start with Jake.
I have two things to say. Number one, we should be 4-4, which is the most frustrating part of this whole season is that you're the kicker knowing how to kick the ball and Denzel Ward knowing how to play zone coverage away from 4-4. Denzel Ward decided he was going to bait Carson Wentz into making a touchdown pass, and Carson Wentz made the touchdown pass, and we lost to the Vikings in London. And Andre, you say his last name, Schmidt,
Yeah,
missed two field
Andre.
goals in the. I've been calling him Mr. Kicker because I don't know how to say his last name. The kicker missed two big kicks in the Bengal game, and you should be 4-4. That's my first point. Because if you're 4-4, what's the outlook of this season? It's a heck of a lot better with the Jets coming up soon. My second point is I can throw a ball farther than that guy. Then I'm pretty sure. That one he threw to Bond was one of the most noodle arm throws I've seen in a long time. And I know darn well if you put Shador in there, he could run the check down offense and throw better bombs. Matthias, I'm sorry I didn't leave you any time.
You have one sentence, Matthias, before we move on to your Chiefs Commanders thoughts.
I'm sticking with the quarterback, Drake May.
You took it from the New England perspective. That's fair. New England's schedule actually looks very favorable coming up.
He's good, man. That kid
He's
can
good.
play.
He's good. You're
I
right.
wish we had one of those.
Matthias, it's your turn. The floor is yours. Chiefs
Kids
Commanders.
can play, man.
Chiefs Commanders. I feel like I'm watching a Star Wars movie because somehow Palpatine returned. Like they just the Chiefs rose again. Like I don't know how. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But like they did it. They're here, 5-3, and it's scary all over again. And yes, this was against the Marcus Mariota led Washington Commanders, but like that wasn't he wasn't playing defense, and like they tore it up, and I'm starting to be shaken. Like I'm like, okay, this Chiefs look real again, and yeah, like I think it's going to be a matter of time before we might even this year we might even see a Patriots and Chiefs what's it called? Patriot Chiefs AFC Championship, and it's just history repeating itself, and I'm just going to lose my mind. Yeah, guys, if you guys have any thoughts, I'll start with you, Jake. Actually, Jake, you just talked for a while. I'll start with you, Andrew.
Ouch.
I don't have much to say about this one. To me, I think everyone knew Kansas City was going to win. It stinks for the Commanders. Honestly, it doesn't just stink. It sucks for the Commanders that they have
RG4.
all these injuries. I think they'd be a
Oh.
much better team right now if they didn't have all the injuries they did. Marcus Mariota can't take you to the playoffs. I think we're going to see Dallas and Philadelphia come down to the wire in the NFC East. And to me, that's just unfortunate because I think the Commanders are a much better football team than what they're showing. I'll leave the floor to Jake.
I hope Jaden Daniels is healthy and stays healthy. Please learn how to slide, dude. You got to just stop taking
Please.
hits, man. Please learn how to slide. Please throw the ball away. I watched you get ragdolled around too much at LSU to do that in the NFL. Pat Mahomes, he decided he didn't want to play again. He decided he's like, you know what? I can play football again. I want to play football again. And here he is
Do you
doing
know
sidearm weird stuff, playing football again.
do you know what's a problem? I remember we were talking about the draft at BW, shout out, I guess. And one of our problems with Jaden Daniels was he needs to learn to slide. And we're still here.
Put on the LSU tape and tell me how many times he gets obliterated by a linebacker because he thinks he can take him one-on-one and he can't. It's mind-boggling to me that he doesn't slide.
Well, it's mind boggling to him too. Anyways, moving on.
Jake, it's your turn for the Dallas Cowboys and the Broncos.
I don't really remember why I picked this game, to be honest with you. There was not a lot of great options this week. So
No,
I
let's
think
just
it
say
was
this off the
because
record. I hate
Yes.
to interrupt you, Jake, but let's just say this off the record. Week 8 sucked. The
yeah,
NFL
Oh
played
my
I was
God.
like,
a
Yes.
horrible slate of games. Those were terrible. All of them were terrible. The
Think
only
it's
good
on the
game was the
record.
Steelers-Packers game. That was it. Okay, go on, Jake. I'm sorry.
well, no, you're not wrong. And it's like I didn't really know what else to talk about. So I thought I'd give this was a fun, not a fun game. I told you last week on the podcast to take the over. So I hope you won some money, ladies and gentlemen, because we smacked that. We had like 70. So you're welcome. Bo Nix, please be good again. We're starting to see the good version of Bo Nix, which is cool. Um, we've also brought up Bo Nix, which means we've talked about all four Oregon starting quarterbacks in this podcast in the last 10 minutes. Herbert, Gabriel, and Mariota, and now Bo. So that's awesome. And Dallas's defense is terrible. Dak Prescott is good. Again, I don't remember what my talking point was in this game. I think it was that Bo Nix is back. And who's got thoughts? Anybody? Andrew.
Denver's proven that they're the real deal.
They're good. I think they're good. Finally.
I agree.
Underdogs next week in Houston. Interesting.
Interesting.
Houston didn't play bad last week against San Francisco. They might be starting to find a spark. But
For Denver, just I think they got it. They kind of have that it factor. They feel like, ironically, the Giants without a Cam Scatabo. Like, they just feel like a team that will just scrap with you in the trenches, or they will shoot out with the best of them. And there is legitimately no in between because it all relies on Bo Nix.
Good
Pat,
teams win in different ways. That's a good way to put it.
yeah, Pat Surtain, I believe went down with an injury, but hopefully he recovers. I always liked Pat Surtain. So yeah, hopefully he comes back better. I think this team could make some noise. Not betting on them yet, but maybe.
alrighty, and finally for this week's slate of games, this game actually was kind of a banger, but it wasn't in prime time. The Jets getting their first win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Justin Fields leading the
Huge.
offense. He's apparently really good playing against AFC North teams offensively because he dropped 32 on the Steelers and 39 on the Bengals. Aaron Glenn, to me, coached a pretty good game. Joe Flacco, now a big loss for Cincinnati if he ends up being out this week, which I don't know if he's officially out, but I did see that he's day to day, I believe.
Not looking promising, I don't think. AC
Yeah.
joint. Never know about those boys.
Well, that's not good because Cincinnati can't run an offense with Jake Browning. And I thought they could a few years ago. We saw that they were able to, but that doesn't look like it. The Bengals are a mess. The Jets are a mess too. This game being 39-38 still seemed like a fun game overall. I did watch the highlights. Fields looked impressive in it. The Jets got to win. The Jets, I think, just need to really learn how to win. I think that's really their problem right now. But they're also kind of like the Falcons, where I've seen their offense explode and their defense tank, and I've seen their defense tightened up and their offense tank. Like their offense looked terrible against the Broncos, but their defense looked really good against the Broncos. And then their offense looked really good against the Steelers and Bengals, but their defense looked like trash against the Steelers and Bengals. So to me, it's like the Jets make no sense. And either way, it probably explains why they're 1-7. They're kind of like the worst version of the Falcons. But hey, Aaron Glenn, congrats to him. First career NFL head coaching win. As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of Aaron Glenn because of how poor the Detroit defense was last year. And I don't think he should have got the Jets job, but that's just me. I'll leave the floor open to your guys' thoughts on the Jets' first win or anything related with Cincinnati.
Please pass it to me.
All right, go ahead, Matthias.
Take it, run.
Dude, two things because I don't have a lot of time. So Justin Fields, he gets criticized by the owner, and then he has a good game managing game. His stats look better than how he actually played, but he still played well. Unfortunately, with the game on the line, they trusted Breece Hall to throw the ball, and it worked. Anyways,
that was so cool.
That was weird.
That aside, Cincinnati, what are we doing? You play against the Steelers, you beat the Steelers, and you go, oh, our season has a chance, and we play against the Jets next. We might be able to turn it around, and then you lose to the Jets. So then now the Steelers look worse, and I ran out of time. Whatever.
The Steelers already beat the Jets week 1, though. They have nothing to worry about.
It's a closer divisional race. The Steelers could have been 5-2. I said I was done.
Congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens on winning the AFC North.
The Bengals.
By the way, we'll get there when we get there. Sorry, Matthias.
All right, Jake, do you have one more sentence, or we're gonna move on?
Matthias said what I was gonna say. Maybe don't call out your starting quarterback in the middle of the week because he's probably gonna ball out and make you look like a moron. So shout out my man Justin for doing that.
All right, let's share my screen here and take a look at the standings from last week. Me and Jake tied at 8. Matthias was 7.
That's actually bad for me.
Yeah, well, actually, you still are overall in the lead, Jake. You
guys picked up some ground.
Matthias is in that coveted second place position that Jake says is the place to be. So even though Jake is running away with it, he wants to be in second place. So Matthias and I'm currently paying for dinner, though, so I'm in the worst position, but Jake is picking dinner right now, and Matthias is just enjoying it all. So we're going to do our week 9 picks here in just a second. So when we do our picks here, we are going to first start off with the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. All right, as you guys know, we do one pick, one sentence, but always with the Thursday night game, we discuss it for a couple minutes. That's the game of the week. All right. Baltimore at Miami. For me personally, I'll just do my pick and thoughts really quickly, and then I'll leave the floor to you guys. I'm picking the Ravens to win this game. Rooting for the Dolphins to win it. I don't think they will, though. The Ravens look better with Huntley. I don't know if Huntley is going to be playing again. I think Lamar might be back, but I'm not sure about that yet. It's looking good for Lamar from what I saw. So I think that's going to help the Ravens offense. The Dolphins don't have a defense like the Ravens don't have a defense, but I mean, Tua has looked terrible all year. So I can't trust the Miami Dolphins to win this game. I could trust that Lamar Jackson in the offense could score some points, but I still don't think the Ravens are a good football team. But they're going to start to rattle off some wins here with Lamar Jackson coming back. So that's my thoughts. The floor is yours. We'll start off with you, Jake.
I'm also going to take the Baltimore Ravens. Interesting situation happening in Baltimore after last week. NFL investigating their injury management with Lamar. Could have cost me big in fantasy. I would have been terrible. I would have been so mad. They said he was going to play. They said he was fine. And then they were like, nope, just kidding. No, he's not. So that's something to monitor. I wonder if they'll lose a draft pick or something. Keep an eye out on that. Harbaugh, kind of a disaster this year. I know Ravens fans are out on him as a coach, but they're going to beat the Dolphins. So I'm going to take the Ravens. But just a fascinating story out of Baltimore. That's usually the stuff that happens in Cleveland. So glad it happened to somebody else. Matthias?
Matthias, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that because that's such an odd thing to happen. Like especially in what looks like to be a tight ship in Baltimore.
Mhm.
And it's like that's odd. But yeah, with Lamar could have two left feet at this point, and I think that he could beat the Dolphins by himself. Like he he got it. I took the Bears against Baltimore last week, and then the Bears reminded me why I should stop trusting in Chicago. And then yeah, so Baltimore, even if Tyler Huntley gets out there again or whoever's at quarterback, they're going to win because Tua doesn't have pink eye anymore, so he's not going to go ballistic like he did last week. That's kind of all I got.
So you're taking the Ravens too, Matthias?
Yep.
All right. So we're all in on the Ravens winning tonight's game in Miami. So we'll see what happens down in South Florida tonight. Should be a good game, nevertheless, if the Dolphins offense played like they did against the Falcons. All right, now we're going to do one sentence, one pick after we talked about the game of the week there. So let's start things off with San Francisco at New York. Jake, let's go to you.
Uh, San Francisco is going to win. It's the Cam Scatterboo injured letdown game for the Giants, even at home.
Matthias.
The the Giants are going to win.
I'm taking the 49ers to win this game, even though they lost to the Texans last week. They're still streaky, but no Scatabo should not be a problem for the 49ers. The Los Angeles Chargers at Tennessee Titans. Let's start with you, Jake.
Chargers, they're much better.
Matthias.
Chargers in 4 quarters.
I'm going Chargers as well. Cam Ward's terrible for now. I still think he's got potential for the future. The Titans are really terrible. It's not really Cam Ward, but he did look really bad against the Colts. Minnesota at Detroit. Jake.
I almost said the Tigers. I'm going to take the Lions. That's the right team. And because they're going to probably make J.J. McCarthy's day pretty tough.
Matthias.
The Vikings are more injured. Lions win.
Hutchinson got that money. Detroit. That's my pick. All right. Atlanta at New England. Let's start with Jake. I'm sure he's got a lot to say in one sentence.
New England, Drake May going to win the MVP.
Patriots win. I don't know, man.
Love it. Good sentence.
Sentence of the week. Patriots win. I don't know, man. That's the best way to describe the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Yes, that
True.
was
It's
the Atlanta
they're
Falcons.
probably gonna come out and drop 35.
I know it too. I know it, and I
Just
Part of me wants to
100%.
take the Falcons to create some difference in opinion here, but I'm going to take New England. I got to play it safe. All right. We might have some difference in opinion on this game. Colts at Steelers. Go ahead, Jake.
oh.
I'm gonna take the Steelers. I think this. I think Danny Jones has one of those weird. This is the one that's going to be the weird Steelers win. They're going to play Renegade. Daniel Jones is rattled. I took too many sentences. Steelers win. I hope not.
Matthias.
The Colts win. What's a run defense?
I'm going to take the Colts too. The main reason
Good.
for this
I'm
is
glad.
because, yeah, I think the Colts proved themselves a little bit in their win over the Chargers, and the Steelers' defense is really bad. I'm sorry, their defense is terrible. Defense is terrible. And I know I said more than one sentence, so we'll move on. But the defense stinks. They have some major issues there. With
Mine
tons
was like
of
a
stars.
paragraph, so.
Tons of stars, and that's a paragraph. Okay, Denver at Houston. Jake,
We
go
were
ahead.
doing so good at one sentence, and we completely botched it. We
You
got
want the
this.
game
We
to end
got
in a
this.
tie. Okay, go ahead, Jake.
Denver.
Go on.
Denver. That's all I got.
Okay, Denver. Matthias.
Well, I'm sorry. Could you remind me
Denver
the
and
game again?
Houston.
Okay, Denver, Houston.
In Houston.
Denver. This is their prove it game part 2.
I'm taking the Texans in this game.
Darn it.
DJ Stroud bouncing back. All right, Bears, Bengals in Cincinnati. Jake.
Oh my God. I'm gonna take Oh, I don't know. In Jake Browning, we trust. Go Bengals.
Matthias.
There's no way the Bears could burn me 2 weeks in a row, right? Bears win.
The Bears can burn you 2 weeks in a row. I trust Ben Johnson. I don't trust Caleb Williams.
So who are
Carolina
you
at
taking?
Green Bay.
Wait, who are you
sorry,
taking?
Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati. Even with
Oh,
Jake Browning.
I knew this.
this is
I'm taking
not setting
Cincinnati.
up well for me. This is setting up terribly for me.
All right, Carolina at Green Bay.
You go to
Jake, go
me.
ahead. Sorry, Jake, go ahead. Yep, my bad.
I have two sentences.
That's
Why did
fine.
I pick Carolina last week? What the shoot was I doing? Green Bay. Big. Huge.
Matthias.
Green Bay wins right when they walk on the field.
They walk on the field. Uh, Green Bay wins in the locker room pregame. All right. New Orleans at Los Angeles Rams, Jake.
Rams by a billion.
Puka
Matthias.
Nacua.
Puka Nacua. I'm saying that means you take the Rams.
Yep.
Okay. I'm taking the Saints to lose. Go Rams. Jacksonville at the Raiders, Jake.
Jacksonville. Trash versus not as trash.
Matthias.
Um, Jacksonville wins. Coughing baby versus healthy baby.
Jaguars
That's a
win.
good one.
Don't forget that win over the Chiefs. All right. Kansas City
I just
at
thought of a really
Buffalo.
good sentence and I need to say it. I should have said it. Can I go back?
Yeah, okay, fine. What's your sentence?
Jaguars win, we all lose. Because
I-
we have to watch this game.
Oh, is this a prime timer?
No, it's 425. Go watch
Oh,
Chiefs
never mind.
Bills instead.
Never mind.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's the game going on along with it. All right, Kansas City at Buffalo. Jake, go ahead.
Kansas City on the road. Pat Mahomes is playing much better football than Josh Allen.
Matthias.
Kansas City wins because of ref ball, prelude to the playoffs.
Yes. That's
Buffalo never loses to Kansas City in the regular
No.
season.
Can you take the Chiefs? You suck for that.
I didn't take the Chiefs. I'm taking the Bills.
I know I want you to take the Chiefs because I did.
Well, I think the Bills win. They don't lose to the Chiefs in the
I
regular
know,
season.
I know.
They
I
don't
thought about
lose.
that after I picked. I realized that after.
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm
You
still
want to change it? Last call to change it, Jake.
No, I'm not changing
All right.
it.
I'm taking the Bills.
I
Seattle at
bleed red
Washington.
or
This
whatever
game
their
sounds like a
things.
snooze fest. What do you guys think?
I
No.
like Seattle. That's my sentence.
All right, go ahead, Matthias.
This is not a snooze fest. This is the JSN show. Seattle.
Seattle for me as well. Arizona at Dallas. Let's go, Jake.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys, and I'll be watching college basketball, so I'm not gonna watch the game.
It does sound like a boring game to me to a degree, but Dak is fun to watch. What do you think, Matthias?
This is the game where somebody wakes up on Arizona's side. I'm taking Arizona.
I'm going to ride with the Cardinals as well because the Cowboys, they impress you one week just to fall asleep the next, and they already lost to the Panthers. I don't believe. I think the Cardinals just win this game because the Cowboys are overhyped. Let's be real. So
Do it for me,
taking
Dak.
Arizona, huh?
Come through for me, baby.
Kyler Murray, come on. Marvin
Kyler
Harrison
Murray's
Jr.,
questionable.
come on. All right,
Do it for
one
me,
more
Dak.
game. One more game we got to talk about. Bye week at the Cleveland Browns.
I'm gonna take the bye week, and I'm excited that I don't have to watch them play this week.
Yeah, I'm taking the bye week as well. Matthias, bye week or the Browns?
I'm taking the bye week because Cleveland is losing against the stadium deal.
Yeah, that's fair. We're losing the stadium deal. Okay, bye
We're
week
not
at the
winning
Cleveland
anything.
Browns.
That's a great point.
Okay, bye week at Tampa Bay, and then we can move on.
Baker.
I'm taking Tampa.
I'm
because
thinking Tampa will
everything's
beat
good
the
in
bye
Tampa
week.
right now.
Yeah, yeah.
They get healthy.
Tampa,
That's what they need.
Tampa will beat the bye week. I agree. All right. That was just a joke, of course. So we'll take those predictions out for the bye week.
I
But
was not
there you
joking.
go. What was that?
I said I was not joking. I'm dead serious. So happy I don't have to
Jake
watch
is
this team
dead
play.
serious. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will defeat the bye week handedly, and the Cleveland Browns are going to stink it up against the bye week. All right.
So
It's
Should
gonna
so
make
here's
my
my
advantage in the
Sunday a little
following
bit
week against
better.
the New York Jets. What was that, Matthias?
here's my thing about the bye week for Tampa Bay. I'm not going to hold this for too long, but like this is another week for them that they don't have to play where Mike Evans can potentially a miracle might happen and he might come early. And
And Bucky
I'm saying
Irving, Chris
yeah,
Godwin.
and I'm saying it right now. If Mike Evans comes back before the season ends and he has like 5 games left, all on him because I think he's going to go berserk. He doesn't want to lose his 1,000 yard season. Baker knows it. He's going to go insane.
He might have 65 targets in 5 games.
I
There
wouldn't.
70
is our
targets.
predictions as well as you look on the spreadsheet there. So, who's picking dinner? Jake is currently picking dinner and I'm paying for it. I'm going to try to catch up this week. This week, unlike last week, there's some difference in opinion on some games.
I'm terrified.
I am so scared.
Terrified. You guys were very different than me. I'm terrified.
To Major League Baseball. All right, World Series is split 2 games apiece. Another 18 inning game that Brad Paisley sung the national anthem for. Can you believe that? I think it was 2 8 inning games he did for the national anthem. Unreal
Yeah.
baseball history there. But nevertheless,
2018
it
game 3, I think. Game 4, game 3.
was game 3 because Toronto won game 4.
No,
And
in 2018,
oh, in 2018, I'm sorry. You're talking about when Brad Paisley called the World Series.
Boston, and it was the Dodgers again in Boston.
Yes, Red Sox and
Dodgers won
Dodgers.
that one too on a walk-off home run.
Yes, but the Red Sox won the series.
They
I
did.
will say this. I picked the Blue Jays to lose. I almost said the Blue Jays to win, but I picked the
We
Blue Jays
all
to
picked the
lose
Blue
in
Jays
five
to lose.
games. So game 4 was miraculous. I'm rooting for the Blue Jays to win the series. I want to emphasize that. But to me, game 3 is still really the story, even though the Dodgers won, because 18 innings. I mean, Shohei Ohtani walked 5 times, which was kind of a disgrace to the game, in my opinion, because you can't just keep intentionally walk. I think intentional walks should just be 4 pitches thrown, or you ban intentional walks for things like that. You got to pitch to these guys. And I get it if you're the Blue Jays, why you want to avoid pitching to Shohei Ohtani, nevertheless. But still, that game was incredible all the way around, even though it lasted 18 innings. What a game that was, and what a way for it to end. Freddie Freeman again coming to the rescue for the Dodgers. He's been terrific. Ohtani in this series has been terrific. I mean, you had Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitching 105 pitches in game 2, and then he came out of the bullpen. Well, no, he didn't come out of the bullpen, but he was warming out of the bullpen. Pardon me. Jay caught me there. That's my bad. But he was
That's one of
warming
the
up in the bullpen.
craziest things I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah.
That is one
For
of the
your best pitchers
craziest things I've
warming
ever
up.
seen.
Insane. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto is an insane athlete too. He's not Shohei Ohtani because he doesn't hit like Shohei Ohtani can, but from a pitching perspective, he is one of the best in the game. Absolutely insane. And give it to Shane Bieber too. He had an okay outing for the Blue Jays. I mean, gave up some big hits at times,
That
but
was
other
the
than
game
that,
after.
yeah,
That was the game after.
yeah, gave up some big hits, yeah, but not many, yeah. But it held on, and the Blue Jays ended up winning that game. And it's just been so much baseball to keep tabs on. I'm getting lost in the World Series because I was so lost in game 3 with it being 18 innings long. And the fact that Shohei Ohtani got walked 5 times. Jake, I'm going to leave the floor to you. Matthias, if you have anything as well, feel free to chime in here. I know you're not number one on baseball, but if you got anything too, let's discuss this World Series so far. I'm still riding out my prediction that the Dodgers are going to win the series, but I think it's going to be in 7 games now. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll start. So 18 innings, crazy. That was Max Scherzer who was in that game. Shane Bieber pitched the next day and actually was brilliant.
Yeah.
And
I was
that,
confusing games
yeah,
there. Pardon me. Yeah.
no, dude,
That's
we watched
I've
three
been watching
games
so
in
many innings. It's not even
And
fun.
we
yeah,
watched 3 innings worth, or yeah, 3 innings, 3 games worth of innings in 2 days, in 2 games. So they're all blended together. Scherzer pitched the 18 inning game. The story there We talked about Yamamoto warming getting in the bullpen. Shane Bieber, who was starting the next day, had to get up and move in the bullpen for the Blue Jays because they were out of pitchers too. So just a crazy game. Taxed with the bullpens. That dude with the beard, the red beard, what a legend that guy's going to be in LA for the rest of his life. Will Klein. I mean, that dude's never going to buy a beer in LA ever. That was awesome performance from him. Um, this is the best playoff sport to watch besides March Madness. Like it's March Madness, baseball playoffs, and then everything else. And I love the NFL playoffs. I love the NBA playoffs, but there's nothing better than every single pitch being the most important pitch of your season. And if you mess it up, your season could be over in one pitch. Like it's awesome. Shout out Shane Bieber. That's my guy. Happy for him. Matthias, I'll go to you.
Yeah, man, like I stayed up on a Monday night without like you guys have heard them talk about me. I'm not the most efficient baseball fan there is. I used to work for the Guardians, but that was kind of it. But like I sat down, I was playing games with my friends and I saw 11th and I was like, "Wait a minute." And I turned it on inning after inning after it like it was a classic. Like it was genuinely amazing pitching. Um I do I do agree yet disagree with what you said, Andrew. Like intentional walking, it can be boring, but at the same time, can we talk about how great Shohei Ohtani is? That it was legitimately better as a game plan to walk him five. He made the bases 9 times. 5 of them were from walks. Like in when they didn't walk him, he was bombing it 380 feet. So like there was a reason why they had to do it because they knew every pitch to him was the game on the line. So like Dodgers should have won two because of that win.
Well, it's still an even series, and we're going to have to see what takes place in the next couple games. I will say this, though. The Blue Jays have proven to me why they won the American League, and they've absolutely proven to me that they actually can win this series. I don't think they're going to, but I think they're going to force 7 games, and the Dodgers end up winning game 7 in Toronto. But it's going to be fun to see where this heads out. And especially the games go ongoing tonight as we record this too. So we'll see what takes place here in Game 5 as well as we'll probably have the conclusion of the World Series wrap up next week as we close out baseball. But now we got to move on to some NBA headlines. And we're going to start things off with some things Jake wanted to talk about with NBC's broadcasting rights of the NBA, how new they are and fresh they are. Jake, I'll let you talk about this. You want 2.5 or 2, my friend?
I really only need one. It's not, I don't have a lot to say.
We'll give you 1 for this one. Go right ahead. The floor is yours, and then we'll get to the MJ quote.
Yeah, and these kind of go hand in hand. I really just wanted to say, and I'm not like a passionate NBA watcher. I don't really watch the NBA regular season. It's not it's just not something I've ever done. There's sports on during the NBA season that I prefer: football, college basketball, whatever it is. NBC is doing awesome with their broadcast. They brought out great announcers. They brought out a really good post-game crew. It was Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, Maria Taylor, and I don't remember who the other guy was. Sorry, other guy. But they were awesome. They were informative. There wasn't a lot of and ums, and they didn't know what they were talking about. Like they were to the point. They were great. For the Knicks game yesterday, Tuesday, whatever day, they did the Sunday Night Football, say your name and where you went to college, which I thought was awesome. It was like Jalen Brunson, Villanova. So props to you, NBC. You're killing the NBA broadcast so far. As a casual, I loved it and I enjoyed it.
All right.
And they got Michael Jordan. To what you're talking about, they've got Michael Jordan, the GOAT, on the broadcast.
They do have the GOAT on the broadcast, which leads me to my next point. All right, a quote from Michael
Jeffrey Jordan.
Michael Jackson, and I meant Michael Jordan. I apologize.
The GOAT's in their own regard.
I'm like, I don't want to say Michael Jackson. It's Halloween this week. I played Thriller on my radio show, Oldies Amplified, this week, so I had Michael Jackson on.
One's a GOAT and one's not.
Yeah. Well,
We'll
Michael
let you
Thompson's the
decide
goat
which
of
one it is.
he's the goat of pop. I'm giving myself another 30 seconds so I can bring up
Two goats in their own
Michael
right, in
Jackson,
my mind.
Michael
But
Jordan
Matthias
quote.
thinks LeBron's better, and that's okay.
I disagree with that. But anyway, Michael Jordan, his
That's a
quote
whole
with the
podcast, I
interview,
think.
his quote on the interview with Mike Tirico on NBC. You play basketball for 2.5 to 3 hours a day. That's your job. What are you doing the other 21 hours when it comes to load management? And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. I say, hell yes. Hell yes. Preach, Michael Jordan, preach. Michael Jordan played 80 games, usually bare minimum a season in his prime. Scottie Pippen probably close, as long as they were fully healthy. And as he even said when I watched the interview, as long as they were physically able to be out there, they were out there. That's old school NBA basketball in a nutshell. Load management has got to be dropped. The NBA's got to find some way to stop this, in my opinion, because it's getting ridiculous. And I thought Michael Jordan, what he said about the casual fan who goes to those games a lot of times just once a year, maybe twice a year, kind of spoke to me a little bit. And I think he's absolutely right. There's that guy up in the Detroit Pistons stand, which he brought up and said, who's booing him? But that might be his only game to go that season. So you want to prove him wrong. Michael Jordan's right. And that's coming from everywhere around the NBA, including your home crowds. Including your home crowds, because a lot of those folks are casual watchers and only can go to one game a year. So Michael Jordan was looking out for those in that quote. And I'm going to start off with Jake. He's raising his hand. Go ahead.
I have one thing to say
What's up?
to start this. Michael Jordan, 15 NBA seasons, 11 times. He played 80 or more. Played 82, 5. And the other one season he did play 80, he played 78. That's all I got.
I'm glad we both immediately went to check the stats.
I got it literally right in front of me.
All right, Matthias, your thoughts.
Nothing against Michael Jordan.
Hey, man.
But he's right. There is a point, and it's just yes, there basketball is more intense. I feel like in a way it's more intense now. I wish I could explain it, but I only have 5 seconds. But people are starting earlier, playing longer, getting hurt more often. So load management is a thing, but it's taken too far.
All righty. Matthias.
Time out. 2 things.
Yeah.
One, I want to play a game with you guys. So we'll get that second. The post-game crew I was talking about, Melo and them, also did a really awesome point about load management. I thought it was great. A couple of old school players from our childhoods talking about they played 80 games every time they could. Michael Jordan, career high in points. Yes.
Career high, Michael Jordan, 70 something.
74.
Because he had it's 71 because he had 62 in the playoffs, which was a
career
playoff
high regular season 69.
Oh,
so 70.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Hey, Matthias.
Less than Donovan Mitchell, though.
Pretty nice.
Donovan Mitchell
not as nice as you can be,
championships, though.
But less than Donovan Mitchell. So who's really the GOAT?
Less than Devin Booker. Less than Joel
Embiid too. Yeah.
Spida does not have 6 championships, so the GOAT.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan doesn't have a 70-point game, so.
No, but I think championships outweighs all that. Let's move on, Matthias. You have the floor. NBA headlines.
Okay, so my first headline. Boy, do I love sounding right. And boy, does Wemby make me sound right. Because the NBA, they had a beautiful landscape, and then everyone looked up and saw a mountain in their way, as in Mount Wemby. This guy has been playing insanely. Whoever let Hakeem, one of the greatest centers that had footwork, in my top 3 greatest center of all time, teach him, a guy who was already shooting threes and was already had good handles. That guy, if it's his agent, should be getting all the money in the world. If it's somebody that just randomly recommended him, he should be. He needs to be on a watch list. It's insane, and it's not going to ruin the league. But man, watching Zion climb Mount Wemby and dunk it on him the first play of the game, and then Wembanyama responds with 9 blocks, along with 3 of them being in a row against Zion. It's scary. He's not a twig anymore. He will bully you. I think. I don't know what I think. I don't. He might be MVP. He's already give him the Defensive Player of the Year trophy, like yesterday. Like he's insane. My next thing, this one's not as much, but Kuminga, starting for the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, man, they've that him and Kuminga, I mean, the organization of Kuminga have not seen eye to eye. But with him starting, that's more of like heading to the right direction for him to start because
Is he
Kuminga,
good? Like, is he going to be good this year?
he's he's a bucket.
Well, come on, it's in the nickname.
Yeah, like he's a bucket, but like if he starts working on the defensive side of the ball, he could be a good two-way player. But yeah, like
Exactly what you need next to Steph.
he could get you like 15, I would say.
Take
Like,
that.
yeah. But yeah, other than that, I this is where I want your guys' comments. So, week 1 for the Cavs. Three,
Uh,
3-2. Well, yeah, 3-2. The game wrapped up against Boston. Um, Lost to the Knicks and the Celtics, obviously, but then like also beat the teams that I thought could be contenders. One of them being or like Eastern Conference contenders. I'm looking at the Detroit Pistons, but yeah, like they're on the fence for me. Like good performances, good performances against team they should beat, bad performances on teams they need to beat. That's kind of it. Andrew, I'll start over with you.
Um, for me with the Cavs,
Yeah.
so they lost to the Celtics tonight. So to me, that's a big disappointment. But also, it's the regular season. I don't really look at that too in deep. But granted, you should beat the Celtics, but without Darius Garland, that might be a reason to pause. But nevertheless, to me, it's the regular season. I'm already thinking about what are the Cavs going to do in the postseason. I will say this though, a team
a
that
dangerous game to play.
it is. So a team that I think made themselves relevant into the Eastern Conference conversation over the last couple games is Philadelphia 76ers. I think we forgot about them all offseason because of how bad they were the last couple years. But they still have Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, and I'm still looking at them with 2 stars, and they scare me.
3 stars. You
Yeah.
forgot about VJ, the DJ Edgecombe,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Edgecombe, but still, he's been playing out of his mind. The 76ers
cooking
are
up the
undefeated
hits.
right now. They scare me more than anybody else in the East, and I didn't even really factor them in the offseason. I really was more worried about the Knicks and the Magic and now the Pistons when Matthias brought it up. But now I'm looking at the 76ers. I'm taking them seriously, and I still believe Nick Nurse is a good head coach. So to me, the 76ers have kind of opened my eyes. The Cavs for me right now, and still, it's the entire NBA. It's the regular season. We'll see where these teams all match up in the postseason. I'm not worried.
I'm not worried about the Cavs until I see the full version of the Cavs of what they're supposed to look like. So I want to see the starting lineup that we're expecting: Garland, Mitchell, Hunter, Allen, Mobley. And I get to see Lonzo come off the bench and Nance come off the bench and all of the guys that we brought in the offseason fill their role the way they're supposed to. That's where I land.
That's it.
All right.
Shout out VJ Edgecombe, though. It's my guy.
Shout out to
Loved
Austin
him at
Reeves as
Baylor.
well.
He's an athletic freak.
Shout out to Austin Reeves as well for
Thank you.
playing like an
Matthias's
NBA
guy.
superstar right now.
Austin
NBA
Reeves.
superstar. And Matthias said some facts about Austin Reeves last week.
He gonna get a bag?
Listening to
Does
last
he
week.
have a bag yet?
What?
Is he gonna get a big contract? Does he have one yet?
I don't know, but he's going to get one soon if he keeps playing like this.
Okay.
He's
I didn't know if
probably
he
gonna
was
get an
one of those
all-star
signed like
nomination if he
the
keeps playing like this at the very least.
next.
Probably an all-star, let's be honest, at this point, if he continues. So
Luka and LeBron was the story, but now we're getting Luka and Reeves. What a movie. What a movie. I'm watching. I'll be watching.
all right, we got 2 more subjects on the show here. We'll start off with some college football in particular. Let's talk about Ohio State having another bye week. 3 bye weeks on the season, 2 back to back, guys.
We can't talk like that.
I don't think it's a
Oh,
bye week.
oh, yeah, it's a bye week. All right. It's
Hey,
Penn.
man, look, because the moment you take them lightly is when they beat you.
We
They're not
are
going to beat
going
us.
to beat Penn State. We are going to beat Penn State.
All I'm going to say
We are
is if
going
you
to beat Penn
treat
State.
teams like a bye week, they're going to beat you.
We're going to
Or
beat
they're
Penn
going to
State.
make you look bad.
We're going to beat Penn State.
Okay, I'm done talking.
Ohio State's going to beat Penn State.
I'm not saying that they're not
Ohio
going.
State's going to beat Penn State.
Okay. Why did you put this segment in here if you were not going to talk about it?
Ohio State's going to beat Penn State.
Okay.
Well, it's 2.5 minutes. I want your guys' thoughts. And my argument every time.
You haven't let me get any thoughts.
No, Ohio State's going to be Penn State. You're trying to get me to not be convinced this isn't a bye week. It's another bye week. Ohio State.
I'm telling you that
it's done. The game's already over, and they didn't even get to the stadium yet.
No week is a bye week. Do you think Michigan thought they were going to lose to Appalachian State?
What?
No, they did not. You think Michigan thought they were going to lose to Appalachian State? You thought Virginia thought they were going to lose to UMBC? No, they didn't. You know why they lost? Because they overlooked them, and they lost. And they had the greatest 16-1 upset in the history of sports because they overlooked a team that was too short to play. Farley Dickinson had a player their tallest player is shorter than Matthias, and they beat Zach Edey because they overlooked him. Zach Edey's tall. Don't overlook teams.
Zach Edey's like 7'2" for like point of comparison.
Ohio State is going to win this game, but you do not treat a conference rival like a bye week or you're going to lose.
Yeah, it's the same thing as doing like, oh, the Steelers are going to beat the Bengals because the Bengals are bad.
You just can't do it. Like, yeah, we're going to win, obviously.
I was the one who picked the Bengals to beat the Steelers that one Thursday night, by the way. And I'm going to say it again. It's a bye week for Ohio State. Penn State sucks. They're terrible. And they just fired their coach. They're the Nittany Liars. They were supposed to be the number 2 team in the country this year. And they've already lost 3 games. Penn State is losing to Ohio State in dramatic fashion this week. Matt Patricia and that defense are going to be ready to go. The offense is going to light it up. Julian Sainz going to throw for 400 yards. It's going to be insane, and it's going to be a huge Ohio State win, and I can't wait to celebrate it. We already should be celebrating it.
Penn State.
That's how convinced I am Ohio State's winning this game. Now, if it's the Michigan game, I'm not taking that for granted. That's another story. Ryan Day hasn't beaten Michigan since 2019. He only has 1 win against the team up north, so that's fine. We're talking Michigan. That's not a bye week, even though Michigan stinks. Ohio State.
That's what I'm trying to tell you right now.
But it's Penn State. It's not Michigan.
I'm trying to tell you that.
It's Penn State. It's not Michigan. I'm sorry. Ohio State's winning this week.
Penn State plus
Ohio
20
State's
and a half.
winning this week.
Ohio
State is winning. Ohio State's going to win big. They're going to win.
If this game is 27-17, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
Oh, then fine. If it's
this is the biggest game left on their schedule. They're going to come out and play their asses off. The game
left on their schedule is Michigan.
No, Penn State.
It's not Penn State.
Penn State's biggest game left on their schedule.
Okay, Penn State, sure. Yeah, I'll agree with that. It is their biggest game left on their schedule, and they're going to lose it because they stink. Okay? All right, Jake, the floor is yours.
I don't even want the floor. You take that 4-minute timer and throw it away. I don't even want it.
Don't even want it.
I don't even want it. I have nothing left.
Nothing left.
That took all of my energy.
All right. No other big games
our boy,
to talk about?
Francisco Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza is playing at Maryland this week. If he's not in brown and orange, we all cry.
Well, before we go, guys, I just want to state we did get a comment on our last video from an account called I Love DK Metcalf.
Oh.
Yes, I love DK Metcalf.
It's Matthias's burner. Don't let him fool you. What's he doing?
It wasn't me. I don't have a burner.
I know the person who runs I Love DK Metcalf in all caps. I know the person.
What did they say?
The comment on our video is talk about the Rhine River Cup game.
What is that?
What?
That's the comment. Now, I don't know what he's referring to, so I'm going to Google the Rhine River Cup game. It's an annual college football game between Otterbein and Heidelberg. It's a Division III football game.
Oh, fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, Mr. I love DK Metcalf.
Heck yeah, buddy. Shout out to D3 football. We're all a fan
Yes.
of that. Who won this year? Otterbein or Heidelberg?
Well, let's take a look here at
I
the
googled it.
OAC schedule, and we're about to find out.
Well, I
I
can't
will
November
use
say
the
1st,
this.
ESPN.
Our
2025. They
Baldwin
just
Wallace
played.
Yellow Jackets are ranked number 22 in the country right now.
Well,
John
not a
Carroll's
timeout. They
ranked number
play
12. Huh?
Otterbein and Heidelberg play on Saturday.
Okay,
Okay.
so they're playing on Saturday. So because I love DK Metcalf, and I'm sorry, just because I love his username, no, I'm not a Steelers fan. Because I love DK Metcalf on YouTube, wanted us to talk about this. We're going to talk about it just briefly. Um, Heidelberg right now is 4-3 overall. Otterbein is 1-6.
Yikes.
Otterbein's in last place in the OAC. Heidelberg's going to win the game. Okay, we'll just say that off the record. But let's give a
Who has
shout
a
out
better chance to win, Otterbein or Penn State? Go.
Otterbein.
Yeah, I'm taking Penn State.
You think Penn State has a better chance to win than Otterbein?
Yes.
Okay, Matthias,
Otterbein
you're the
stinks.
tiebreaker here. So does Penn State.
I am taking.
Penn State would beat Otterbein by about 90.
I am. Are we doing Penn State versus Otterbein?
No, who has a better chance to
Who's
upset
a better
their
chance
opponent,
of
Penn
winning
State or
this
Otterbein?
weekend? Penn
Okay,
State or Otterbein?
What's a better chance to upset?
Yeah.
I think because it's Division 3, Penn State has a better chance of winning.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm the only one out here
like-
that thinks Otterbein has a chance to beat Heidelberg over Penn State beating Ohio State.
I think they have a chance.
You guys are
but-
probably right in theory, but we should mention, because we're talking some OAC football here. Our
Yellow Jackets are ranked
number 22.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They were never ranked when we were there.
And Mountain Union's ranked 2, which is to be expected. John Carroll is ranked 12. Now, they're not in the OAC anymore,
No,
but
they're not.
they're on pace to possibly play Baldwin Wallace in the first round of the playoffs. What kind of fun would that be? That would be great. And I don't think
I can't deal with heartbreak anymore.
Hey, we
I'm
might
not gonna-
win.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, and so can Penn
If Baldwin
State.
Wallace and John Carroll end up making the playoffs and playing each other, we're going to definitely predict that game right here on the podcast. So stay tuned for that. But we want to thank our new friend, I love DK Metcalf.
Hey, shout out to him. That was fun.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
D3 football, man.
Yeah, he wanted us
The
to
three
talk
of us
about
are
he wanted us to talk about Otterbein and Heidelberg, and we made sure to do it for him. As I clicked the play video on the last episode of Raw Takes and Company, and the intro just came on. And by the way, before we totally wrap up the pod, shout out to a good friend of mine, Joe Biven. He made the show's intro.
I have another thing to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead before we wrap
Mountain
up.
Union's playing Capital. How many points do they win by? 100?
Well, John Carroll once beat Capital 90-0 when we were students. So should be it for today's edition of Raw Takes and Company. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Follow us on social media. We would really appreciate it. Make sure to stay tuned. I know we may have some special announcements on some audio you could listen to on the podcast. Jake Walensik might be delivering that to us this week. We'll have more for you that on the next episode as Jake's timing me out again.
If you leave a comment, you have to leave a comment with a really funny name. That's the new rule that I'm instituting.
I love DK Metcalf.
Yeah, if you're commenting, if your normal YouTube is like your name, leave a comment under a fun name. We appreciate that more than John Smith leaving a comment.
Hey, if your name is John
Smith
Smith and you leave a comment, we're still going to read it on the show.
Correct. But
we want to give
setting
our
the precedent.
DK Metcalf tons of credit, though, because
he set the precedent. I love DK Metcalf did, and I want that precedent to stay. Thank you, buddy.
Well, I love DK Metcalf. I want to emphasize
Matthias's burner.
Okay, I know for a fact who runs that account. I'll say that for the very least, but we want to give them a shout out.
Yeah, it's right there below
material
me.
For the podcast. That's going to be it for today's edition of Raw Takes and Company. Probably the funniest edition of the podcast ever. Have a good one, everybody. For Jake Molensick and Matthias Endhar, I'm Andrew Hody. Have a good one, and this has been Raw Takes and Co.